Hi everyone, this is Christine with 1212Energy, and I'm on a roll today. I'm going to make a couple of videos. This one I want to talk to you about divine protection for the chosen. So when I'm talking about the chosen, I'm talking about people that have reached a certain level of spiritual maturity. And when you become spiritually mature, you become sealed, and that means that you are afforded divine protection. And so what this looks like in the real world is that it may be frustrating, because it's frustrating to me, about how you think things are going to happen a certain way, but they get disrupted. So I have a situation right now with a friend who backs out at the last minute. And I started to wonder about this person and their backing out at the last minute. And I don't think these people are consciously aware of what they're doing. But I talked about in my last video about the chosen and the empaths and the 144,000, whatever we want to call us. Chosen is a great word for that, I think. These people, that keep dropping the ball at the last minute. This is just one example, by the way. And this is just one example that I have noticed, that the disruptions that happen are because you're not supposed to be around them. You are being divinely protected. So when things don't go the way you think they're supposed to go, there is a very good possibility that the divine protection afforded to you by virtue of you being the chosen among the chosen, or an empath, or spiritually mature, that is basically God saying to you, this can't go this way, you can't go this way, this is not allowed. So this is a very frustrating experience, I think, because it just makes me kind of wonder, like, couldn't we have just gotten the memo? Like, I kind of just wish that we could just get a bullet point memo and just know what's going on. But as this split happens in the 3D physical world, we're going to start noticing a lot more weird anomalies. And the reason these things get disrupted is because they're not allowed anymore. And you're not always going to understand why something happens, but rest assured, when you get down to the nitty gritty, in other words, you start peeling back the layers and you start thinking about, okay, well, what was I going to do? Or what is it about this situation that is not allowed? But basically, at this form of the split in the 3D, the parasitism is not allowed. So any kind of disempowering situation that you may inadvertently walk into, if you are among the chosen, it's probably going to get disrupted because you're not allowed to participate, because your frequency is too high, or it's there. Maybe it's like a spiritual attack. So I do think, in spite of what some of these teachers say about spiritual attacks and, blah, 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 and we don't need to be worried about that, I actually don't think that that's true. I think that the team dark, that they are persistent mofos, and they take a lot of latitude with your consent. And I think that is part of why we are sealed, is because we don't spend all of our time worrying about how to screw people over or how to take advantage of people. And so we just don't assume that walking into something like like going to the grocery store is going to result in a situation that's going to knock down our frequency. But it's all hands on deck for Team Dark right now. They are pulling out all the stops. The parasitic AI that's running this construct that we are in, the false matrix, it's all hands on deck for them right now, because they're losing control. So I feel like, even though the Most High has it all under control, the fact is what that happens up high, and but as it trickles down into solid matter, it creates a lot of weird situations, things being out of place, unexpected situations where we have no idea what the hell is going on. And so if you find yourself like bewildered about, well, that was super weird, like my thing with going to the grocery store, like, in retrospect, probably I should have known that it was Super Bowl. I should have known it was Mardi Gras weekend, and I should have known that I should go to the grocery store some other time other than that Saturday. And I think it did, this situation with this family member that I ran into, I think it did lower my vibration. I don't think he was able to drain me, but I think I spent way too much time. Okay, what is this all about? Why did this happen? You know, this person has been pretty much indifferent to me for most of my adult life, and I thought it was odd that like they were pumping me for information about my life. And if you know anything about narcissists and, you know, manipulators, they've always got an agenda, and they're always going to be looking for you to share information about yourself with them that they can use to their advantage or to tear you down. And so the beauty, I think, of everything that's happening too is that if you do unexpectedly walk into a situation like I did, something that's, you know, you got to go to the grocery store right now. You know, the split is not, we don't have 5D grocery stores and 3D grocery stores. Like, we don't have this segregated grocery stores for people of higher frequencies. So we're still going to be mingling with people in some of these places that we're just so used to going. And I feel like that experience for me was sort of like, I need to have a bigger awareness with the situations that I'm going into. And there was another point I wanted to make too, is that with the divine protection, so you don't need to be afraid of these people. The divine protection is like a fail safe. So you may find yourself doing what I did, which I went immediately into gray rock and realized my antenna went off, and I knew that I shouldn't give him any information about myself. So I just was like, oh, hey, nothing's going on. No, I'm not celebrating Super Bowl, which I really am not. And stayed neutral, because that's how you get them to move on sometimes. But you might gray rock, but if you don't, like if you're just completely distracted and you walk into this kind of a situation, you don't need to worry, because you're going to know that they're there, unless you're just completely distracted, and then there'll be some weird thing about, they're going to, like, maybe he would have approached me. Like, if I had not been paying attention and I had not gray rocked him, somebody else would have approached and said, hey, how you doing? And, you know, they would have gone off on their own little side chat, and then I could have gotten away from the situation. So don't worry so much about Team Dark. Are they there? I think absolutely yes, but I think God has hijacked them to a certain extent. And again, there's so much weirdness about how all this stuff shakes out. You are exactly where you are meant to be right now. And if you weren't, you would get moved. So I'm going to talk about this probably in another video, about this weird stuck gestating period. But for this video, I just want you to understand that if you are among the chosen, an empath, among the 144, spiritually mature and sealed, that you are divinely protected. And some of these weird situations that come up that you're like, I don't know what just happened, or I can't seem to get any traction. And if you can't get traction, it's because you're not supposed to get traction, because there's something in that situation that is not for you. Either you're not you're not a frequency match for that situation anymore, or you're walking into an opportunity that could bring your vibration down. And we really have to focus on keeping our vibration up as we move closer to the ascension, the final event. And really, as these two timelines split, so all of these timelines are coming onto one, but there's the two timelines on this one timeline there's still like different frequencies on one timeline. And so you can't be jumping back and forth. So you may notice too that like your side hustles don't work, or if this one thing doesn't work out, oh, I'll just go over here and beat the bushes. In my experience, that's not allowed either. You have to stay on the timeline and trust that it's going to work out. So if you have any questions, please leave me a note in the comments. My name's Christine. This is 1212 Energy. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.